everyone, this is Mr. Ijamo, and in this video we're going to continue our discussion on the history of the United States of America. So Chapter 2. First of all, in Chapter 2 we see the rise of joint stock companies. Joint stock companies were based on companies that were invested upon many investors, and the investors expected a payback years later, and they were able to pave the way for selling the Americas, because not one person could sell America alone because the cost was just too high. So it was joint stock companies and the private charters, private ventures that were able to settle America. Now we have, let's go back here. We have the first colony of Jamestown. Well, second colony. The first colony of Roanoke was a failure. The second colony of Jamestown was near failure, but under the command of John Smith, notable figure here, and his martial law he imposed upon the colony, it was able to survive and build its economy on tobacco, which was introduced. The planting of tobacco, the idea was introduced by John Rolfe, and it was able to establish a very, very awesome economy there. We also have the attitude of King James I, who opposed tobacco at first, but after seeing the money, the first paycheck from tobacco of Virginia, supported it. So money over moral, we see his attitude. Money over moral, or morale. We see a head rice system being introduced, which was introduced by I believe King James I, and it was either King James I or King Charles I, but it basically guaranteed a 50-acre land to any colonial immigrant coming from England and America that could pay his own fare, and for each additional indentured servant's fare he paid, he got an additional 50 acres. So we see the rise through the head rice system. We see the rise of estates and huge plantation farms. We have Lord Baltimore, who established Maryland. Maryland. Yes, sorry. And then we have the Mayflower Compact, signed by, led by William Bradford. It was the separatist pilgrims who decided to come over here from religious persecution. Indentured servants, Puritan attitude was one of religious intoleration. Therefore, we see the Roger Williams and Hutchinson forming the colony of, I believe, Rhode Island, and Hutchinson following. We see the Quakers and their beliefs, led by William Penn, founding Pennsylvania, and we also see the problems of early Virginians. They were dying a lot due to the Chesapeake Bay area. It was very susceptible to disease, including malaria. A one-crop system of tobacco could anytime backfire due to natural causes, and much more. Divisions of religion and diversification, and problems with the Indians, of course, Native Americans, of course. We also see a religious difference in New England, right? Catholics and Protestants throughout the colonies. So that's basically the gist of Chapter 2 now for important figures. King James I, Charles I, the Duke of York, who established New York through a gift from Charles II, his brother. We see William Bradford leading the Pilgrims to Massachusetts, founding Plymouth. John Winthrop founding Massachusetts Bay Colony, which later on absorbed Plymouth Colony. James Oglethorpe, who founded Georgia, and was able to be based on charity and a buffer zone to Spanish, and it was eventually overthrown because he wanted a utopian society. The settlers did not want so. We have John Smith, remember, the founding of Jamestown and his heroic actions that led Jamestown to success and not failure. Roger Williams and Anne Hutchinson, paving the way in Rhode Island for religious refugees from the Puritans' onslaught. Anthony Ashley Cooper, who founded the Carolinas and was able to get Barbadian colonists into the area to work, established rice as a staple crop of the colony, and much more. Lord Baltimore established Maryland as a Catholic refugee, and William Penn establishing Pennsylvania as a city for the Quakers, and city of a hill. And therefore, that is it for chapter 2. Basic gist of it, not too much. So stay tuned for chapter 3, guys.